Hi, I'm Jim.
I'm Rhenda.
We're Hardiness Approach.
And it is early morning.
Time for chores.
Kitties are gathering around our legs. We need to go check on our Missy cow.
Gray kitty, you're gonna hang with us today?
They're like, it's too dark out there. Mr. Rooster, Hector is his name. Are you waiting for your ladies to come out so you can, you know, yeah. Yeah, you are. See? I knew you were. Kitties, are you waiting so patiently? Oh, Missy's down. She's always down in the morning, right?
She's always down in the mornings.
Rooster's just going from one to another right now.
Everybody's got a job, right?
Everybody's got a job. Kitties, do you have a job?
You're keeping the mice away from our house, huh?
Do you hear the crickets?
We don't have too many mice in our house. We don't see them very often. It's been a while since we had any evidence that there was one around.
Okay, looks like we've adopted a little gray kitten there. Yeah, now we're feeding it. So now we have 3 cats. Good morning, Missy. Missy's still not doing well. In fact, she's a little bit worse. While we were gone on that first Friday over to the expo, the cows got out. Now, they got out because we didn't latch this side gate very well, and the neighbors saw them and put them into the corral up on the hill so that they were safe, which we really, really appreciated. We tried to get him out that night. She wouldn't come, and we thought, well, it's not bottomland grass, so maybe it's okay. So we left her there for 2 days with the other 2 calves, and her leg got much worse. So yesterday morning, on Sunday morning, we brought her back over to the corral and are feeding her just hay and grain again. And we are going to the vet this morning. In fact, we talked to Sarah and Kevin about it when we were there from Living Traditions, when we were there with them at the expo, and they told us to go get LA 300, which is an antibiotic shot to give to her. And of course, we're not milking her right now anyway, so that's not a problem. We're not milking her until she gets better. And so we will be headed to the vet this morning to be able to get that and start her on shots.
What's that spider web there?
Yeah, this is where Charlotte builds a web right up here. So we have some spray that we're putting on it, and I'll tell you what that is as soon as I remember. I put that on first, and then I cover it with the iodine.
Yep.
So her hoof is really splitting apart. We're just
You see how it's broke open?
yeah,
right
it's really bad, really bad. So we are beyond our capabilities here. And now she's going to stand in her poop, which is the worst thing for her. So we've got mama eating, baby eating. Poor baby girl, huh? Yeah, not good. So for sure we're kind of over our heads as far as this, because we don't even understand fiscue, and like, when can you put them on and when do you have to take them off, and how can you ever safely put them on? And we know that it has a lot to do with rotating them in the paddocks, which we were doing, but not enough apparently. So we have many, many things to learn for the sake of our animals, and we're sad that our animals have to learn the hard way on our lack of knowledge. That's really tough for us, but we will continue to learn.
Checking it out.
Well, we just had a chicken right here in the doorway. Well, kitty, what you doing? How come you can't keep the chickens out, huh? The rooster is in full swing this morning, man.
They get more comfortable.
Yeah, we've started. Go ahead and you talk about it.
Because we're here and things are relatively safe, we've started letting the hens, because the littlest ones now are a lot larger. If they were tiny, real tiny, it's kind of the predators, the birds of prey, are more likely to get the small ones. With these larger ones, we haven't ever witnessed that, so we're crossing fingers and hoping.
Well, we did in Oregon.
Not with the big birds. There were smaller ones that they took, other than the turkey. But we don't have large eagles here, and we don't have coyotes roving through our yard. So, relatively confident that they're okay.
And they're so happy. And doesn't it look so pretty seeing chickens in the barn running around? But they're going to get more and more comfortable, which means they're going to go places maybe they shouldn't. Well, let me tell you a little bit about our garden. I cleaned and trimmed all this up in the front. My Tabascos are starting to turn, so that's good. My eggplants are still egging. My tomatillos are still tommying. My peppers are still peppering. And even we're getting some tomatoes still. Actually, tomatoes that are actually edible rather than having bugs all over in them. We've gotten several cantaloupes. Still got some more basil here I need to trim. I trimmed all the basil over there, and that poor little tomato plant needs to come off. My sweet potatoes have taken over the entire area, and I will be very glad when they're harvested because we need the space to walk around it. So there's some more cantaloupes down there. There's a big leaf on the top of that one. And look at all of these cantaloupes. Goodness. So I have to tell you a little story about this plant right here. Not this one. Whoops. But that one, the second one. It had some tiny little peppers on it. And we have some peppers that are, I got them because they were like the not ornamental, but the small bell peppers, all different colors that you can buy in the store. And they're really tasty and good. Well, these had zero flavor. They were not good whatsoever. The chickens hardly even like them. They're like plastic. Oh my word. Jim, what did I just see? Oh my word.
All the chickens out of there.
I wish I had that on camera.
Well, I didn't want to bother you what you were doing, but that's
you
what
were watching, huh? You should have called me.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh my goodness, you should have called me. I am interrupted. One of the chickens, the small ones, went in with brisket and
all of them were in there.
All of them?
He started chasing them out a few at a time.
Oh, brisket started chasing them out? Oh, yeah. My word, hon. That was a camera moment, baby. Oh, there's the other one chasing them out. Well, they know their place now. Okay, back to my pepper story. So we didn't like them at all. The chickens didn't even like them. So we had another bush that had some that were just a little bit different color. And every once in a while we'd see one and we'd take a bite. Okay, that one's not very good. That one's not very good. And so we didn't like that kind. So Jim tasted one and I says, is it hot? And he goes, no, not very. So I took a bite of it. It was a habanero. It was my mouth, my lips, my ears, everything went on fire. And I'm like, oh, I thought you said it wasn't hot. And he goes, well, I just took a little bite. Anyway, we have a habanero plant over here that is hot. Hot, 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 hot. An update on our cow. She is in the back of the truck right now, I mean the trailer being pulled by us. Taking her to the vet. We wanted to film it, but it was just he and I trying to get this cow with a very hurt leg who didn't want to lift it up to be able to get into the trailer.
And it's trying to rain.
And it's raining, and lightning, by the way. It was lightning too. Where's my glasses? Over here. Can't even see right now. Okay. So, she has a larger ulcer on her foot, and her hoof is in pretty bad shape. So they need us to bring her in so they can put her on a tilt table, and we can see what's wrong with what she's going to need to be able to get fixed. It's not been easy. She just doesn't want to go. She's hurting too bad, and it's a really strange place.
No way, I can't even see. We're going to turn it back right now. Things are going to start happening.
Okay.
Hello. How you guys doing today?
Oh, well, we've had better days. She's had a lot better days.
It's going to be okay. You're going to be on your side. There you go.
Oh. She's like, just give me grass. I've only had hay. Okay, sweetie, let's try to go get in the corral. Maybe you can lead her now with that.
You can eat grass along the way. I can guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Okay, see, we're going to put you out here, sweetie. There's lots of grass out here. Okay? I know
She
you're
get
into the
poop on her foot.
What's that?
She got poop on her foot. Well, it has been an afternoon.
Oh.
So let us explain. First of all, we've had a shower because, you know, manure and trailers and yeah.
We needed it.
Yeah. So anyhow, she does not have fiscue
Foot.
or fiscue fever or fiscue poisoning. So that's a good thing.
So it means it didn't come from the grass, so she can eat any of the grass that's here without any problem, which is very encouraging.
He took one look at it and says she has foot rot. He said he's seen so much foot rot this year because of all the rain. Oh,
the vet is saying that foot rot has been very prevalent this year with all the moisture and the heat that's there. He didn't mention heat, but I'm sure that's a part of it because they were wetter in the spring and we didn't have problems. Maybe he's been having problems since then. So just the moisture that's on the ground, just the constant moisture, and it tends to cause the foot rot.
He also said that all of our other feet are good, and he said that this will heal well. I had a little trouble with the way that she had to be treated at the vet.
But it's really for their safety.
Oh my word.
Because she
could kick them really bad.
Well, plus too, our getting her into the trailer in her condition, I mean, she fell.
So she fell 3 different times, 2 times trying to get up, and then 1 time trying to get in because she just can't put the weight on it. And it was really, really tough for us to get her in. We felt so bad, but thank goodness we had a wonderful older gentleman who loaned us his trailer, and she was able to go up to the front and we could lock her in up there. Bless the community's heart. This is what we talked about at the expo, that you need to have community.
You need to know who you can get the help you need when you need it, and we desperately needed a trailer that we could get her there while the vet was still open.
Yeah.
And that worked out.
So what he did was he cleaned it all up, put antibiotic ointment
Which
stuff.
she didn't enjoy that cleaning up. It must have hurt like crazy
My
the way she was
word,
acting.
she was not a happy camper.
But it had to get cleaned up. I mean, he's got to get it cleaned out so the medication can have a chance.
So he cleaned it up, put gauze stuff with antibiotic in there, then wrapped it in a bandage, then wrapped it in the Curl-X and the Coban. And then gave her 60 cc's of LA200 antibiotic. So it'll be 8 days before we can milk her and drink the milk, which we're totally fine with because we just want her to get well. She was already acting better.
Yeah.
After we got her out of the trailer, you saw her eating.
Maybe she's just saying, I'm going to act like I'm okay. I don't want to go back to this.
Stick me back in there. Yeah, so that's our report on her. We've got all 3 cows together again in the same the upper field so they can get into the corral, Charlotte's field. And it was a really stressful day, but I'm really glad we took her in. And again, thank you to people that helped us be able to do it. So it's a learning experience for us all, and thankfully we hadn't done anything terribly wrong. Oh, what she did say, we did ask him, he says, well, when it was swelling up, what can we do when we first see it swelling up? And he says, just come in and you'll get the antibiotic and you can just give it to her, and that way it will never turn into as bad as it was.
He had to treat the sore, where the ulcer where it had broken her skin open, which is going to lead to more problems. So
anyway, that educated us, helped her, and
we don't feel bad that we don't know, because the reality is no matter how much you know, there will always be something that's more than you know about. and that's just the reality of how these things work. And so accepting that as how it is, and now we know what to look for foot rot. It's not going to sneak up on us again. The first sign of it, we'll be watching for it, and we'll be able to take the right action.
And if she did have fiscue, what you have to do with fiscue is what we want to do anyway, and that is to rotate them continually in the field so that they're not eating it down too much.
And I think with the way we've been having her move around, it really, because we found out that it wasn't fiscue foot, we've been making certain that she wasn't in a small area eating it all down. She's been able to go. We've moved them from pasture to pasture.
Yep.
We haven't done the rotational grazing like we want to, but we haven't kept her in one small confined space for any length of time.
Yep. We talked to a wonderful gentleman though at the expo, and we think we'll be getting our sheep from him.
Yes.
And
he's got the right breed.
Yep, he's got a great
knowledgeable
breed.
Guy. Very willing to share knowledge and information.
We get to go to his farm, and when we do, we'll take you with us. Thanks, guys.